Hey everyone, Coops here from the whole Box and Dice Masters 25. Been super excited to get my hands on one of these boxes. We're going to be doing the Channel Fireball Golden Ticket giveaway at the end of this video, so a huge shout out to Channel Fireball. We know we've got an amazing prize to give away. Oh, let's get this cardboard out of here. Let's hope the cards in this booster box are as amazing as that golden ticket. Pretty much, I guess we have to hit like foil Jace, right, to live up to a free GP entry to anywhere in the world. Is such an awesome thing. I cannot thank Channel Fireball enough. You know, they obviously support massive personalities in the MTG community, but to reach out to a couple of guys and girls here in Australia that, you know, range from my size to a little bit bigger and even a little bit smaller, it's just such a cool thing. So God's willing is going to be our first pack, and hopefully God's plan is a heck of a box that we're about to open. And you know, there was so much chat about this set in terms of value and, you know, the argument that it doesn't cost them any more money. Like, let's take the Chupacabra, for example. It costs them no more money to print Chupacabra than it does to print Jace, for example. Nizmizet, nice. Okay, interesting. And Dusk Legion Zealot in foil. I think Niv was in 17 from memory. Master 17, I think, was the last time that we saw that. And like the argument, like it doesn't, like the cost to print a card is exactly the same. And I was like, I get it. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of thought in terms of like making sure there is like a good EV set. I feel like these, you know, they definitely will drop. The price is obviously too high for what's in them. Nice, a call as our rare, and foil pillage, cool. You know, Master 17, like that was insane. Like there was the lands, you had Goyf, Lily, Snapcaster, and Cavern. There was something else crazy in them as well, maybe like an artifact or something. And, you know, every master set like that obviously sold so well, but I think a lot of that product probably was just open up for resale. And, you know, I've had a chance to play some Limited with 25, and I think it's a very well put together set. I think the synergy's there. It's really fun playing with it. You know, there's a lot of, no matter which kind of point. Oh, nice, Azusa. No matter what part you kind of came into Magic in a foil Willbender, there's a set of cards, there's a portion of cards in it that you can relate to. You also get to discover all these cards that you may have only ever seen before, you know, on an opponent's side of the board, or, you know, you've never had the pleasure of actually cracking one of these open. And, you know, I like that they've gone out and picked at least one card from every set. And, you know, I do think it's a good mix, you know. I saw, you know, comments also in regards to, you know, cards that were left off, and I definitely think there are a couple of cards that they could have added in, for sure. I think Birds of Paradise, as we get a Luminarch Ascension and a White Mane Lion. I think Birds of Paradise was one that certainly people were keen to see, but they included cards like Simian Spirit Guide. You know, I play, or attempting to foil out a modern deck at the moment, and Simian has one printing. It's a common, and it's about $80, and the Masters version is going for about $30. And that'll probably, you know, settle down at 20, 25 kind of thing. And that's just, for someone like myself, like, that is amazing. And, you know, I'm sure Wizards wishes they could, like, appease every single person. Ash Baron's nice. It's good inclusion. Decree of Justice. And, oh, nice, foil Arbor Elf. You know, I'm sure Wizards do wish they could appease everyone. But, you know, for every person out there like me who wanted a Simian Spirit Guide, there's someone else who wanted, you know, card X or card Y or card B. And, you know, like, it's very difficult to juggle all of that. And like Jace is in there, you've got Chalice in there. Like, there are some chase cards that I think people will be very happy to open, but I think they have kept the flavor really solid. Street Wraith, there we go. It's a very, like, it's like $4 card, you know, so it's very cool to see stuff like that. Bidden of Thassa, and a foil is going to be, oh nice, okay, the Invoker. And like even the Kobold token and stuff, like I think that's a nice touch. And I do hope that either Wizards brings down the price just a little bit of this product. Obviously, it's going to keep going forward as we get the Horde in the first pack. I just think they're just a little bit too expensive, unless they're all going to be like the Master 17, where you just had, you know, insanity card-wise. But I think at the end of the day, I really do just enjoy like the nostalgia and just it's got to be still a well-built set, right? You can't just, oh, nice, Thalia. It seems like Thalia is like a $10, $15 card. Got a foil Psy there. You know, so that, like, there is value at the rare slot. And, you know, people, I think, focus on the mythics a little bit too much sometimes. You know, the idea that the mythic slot, there's not enough value. But you're not opening that many mythics. What do you get, like 3, 4 a box kind of thing? I'd much rather have a whole bunch of $10+ rares, obviously not all of them, otherwise the set's just like EV off the chain, but I'd rather have something like that and know that most of the time I'm getting at least a chance, oh nice, the champion, at least getting a chance to like make my money back kind of thing, or break even, and I'm not opening a whole bunch of like dollar rares up. But that's just my opinion. I don't know, let me know in the comments. Do you like what they've done with the master set? Do you think they should all be like, MM3, should they all be like the 17 set? Have they given away, and I saw this point as well, Dev from Strictly Better MTG was talking about cards like Murder being printed in this, and you've got the 2/1 Lion for 1. Does that mean that these cards are too strong for Standard? Like, is that what Wizards is telling us with this kind of stuff? Lightning Bolt, obviously another one, Ball Lightning, and the Ruthless Ripper there. They do love the alliteration, Wizards of the Coast. But yeah, like Dev was saying, does that, like, that's obviously a pretty clean signal that we're not going to probably see things like Murder again in Standard, and we're not going to see like 1 mana 2/1s, for example, and probably not going to see Bolt as well, and even maybe cards like Arbor Elf, like 1 mana ramp, and I think it is a pretty big signal, from Wizards. I think it kind of makes sense that they're kind of saying, look, we've included these in a master set, we've included it in a non-standard legal set, obviously, Sundering Titan and a Jackal Pup, and I know people want Standard to be like the good old days. Like, I definitely get that sentiment, but I do think Standard is getting back to a really healthy place. And we've got MTG Arena coming out, and that's going to re-energize Standard further, I think, and it's going to get a whole bunch of eyes on the game that weren't previously looking at MTG, and I think that's really cool. So, I think you've got to put a bit of trust, Grenzo there, and nice, the Raiders. I think you've got to put a bit of trust in the team at Wizards that have kept the game going for 25 years. And I know there's been some shaky points, but like, they still make a really solid, enjoyable TCG. So yeah, maybe just like let's give them some props, because like sometimes they hit the nail on the head, and like Rancor, and you've got Dominaria coming out, and sadly Pendelhaven with a foil Auramancer. Sadly, we saw some of the leaks. There was that issue with the Chinese page, but the cards look really good. Everyone seems to be pretty hyped. I think they're bringing back some very interesting mechanics, and Dominaria is obviously a huge. They need to hit a home run on it, right? Not for the fact of what's gone on previously, like with bans and stuff, just more like venturing back into that IP of Dom is just so huge. Flooded Grave, nice. It's a Grove, sorry, and Assembly Worker. It's just like it's such a huge. I don't want to say risk, because I don't want to frame it as like it's very dangerous, but it is. Like, there is definitely some element of risk. Like when if they ever go back to Kamigawa, for example, and I think when they went back to Innistrad, I think they did a really good job of that. I think the Innistrad sets was like, they were beautiful to look at. They were really great to play through as well. And, going back to a plane like Dominaria, or going back to even like a Kamigawa, like, there's a lot of responsibility to do that right, because, there's, and like we just saw Savannah Lions kind of thing, and Colossal Dreadmaw, I can't believe that card's been printed in like 3 of the last like 4 products or something crazy like that. Perfect Looter, got a Vindicate, nice. Destroy target permanent. Red Elemental Blast. Vindicate is it's a card that, we saw Anguish Unmaking at instant speed with the 3 life loss trigger. Pretty sure Vindicate's, is it yeah, pretty sure it's non-land permanent. Sorry, yeah, is it Anguish Unmaking? Yeah, pretty sure Anguish is target non-land. Like, Vindicate's a card where I guess, like, they've tried very similar to kind of what we saw with some of the, I guess, not Titans, but Titans in the last set. And I do think it is important. Oh, nice, Ensnaring Bridge. That's definitely a card that people are excited. Foil Sundering Titan's going to be our rare. I think you get 2 foil rares in the boxes, it seems like a lot of them have, but would have been cool if it was something other than Titan, but that's alright. Pretty happy to get Ensnaring Bridge, that's pretty cool. It's definitely a card that people are excited to open. That and Chalice, you got some nice cards in there. But I think it is important to, kind of walk that line between cards that make up Magic's history and have similar effects and abilities, but without kind of just reprinting, cards like Vindicate. Like maybe Vindicate's too strong. Swords of Plowshares. Oh, nice. Another Mythic and an Edict. Cool. All right. A couple of Mythics in the last couple of packs. That's always nice. Some half-decent rares as well. So, not too bad. Like, box was pretty slow, but if it kind of picks up like this, the last couple of the packs should be pretty nice. Probably got, like 7 or something to go, maybe, I think now. And I do think it is very difficult to walk that line between the old sets and new, but there's so much back and forth online. Like definitely let me know, like if you're not sick of the oh nice ancient, if you're not sick of the drill by now, let me know in the comments. Got a flash and a sift. Okay, is our foil. How do you feel about where Wizards are taking Standard? Are you excited with the digital innovations that are coming out? Are you scared because you love MTGO? If you're just a paper card player, like, do you think the cards are they too underpowered? Have they moved too far away from what made Standard Magic great back when modern staples were once Standard legal? Oh, nice, Simeon Spirit Guide and the Blazer. Got a Fallen Angel, the Shape Shifter, and a foil is okay. Well, yeah, but like, and like the Qatar and stuff. Like there are cards like that in this set, and what have we got? 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I was pretty close. I think I said 7 on the last one, so that was spot on. I definitely got to get this camera fixed up though. Getting this into focus is I don't know why these Magic cards are not playing very nice at the moment. That is for damn sure. But maybe we can crack that foil Simeon Spirit Guide. We got Eidolon at the back here. Like that's like a relevant card. Dauntless Cathar. I think that one is the Shadows. Yeah, that's the Shadows one with I think Reckless Rage as well. Is that the red pump? It's like the werewolf slashing across the art. Pretty sure that one is yeah, it is. Pretty sure that's Shadows as well. And I think it is cool that they've gone back and touched on all the sets. I would have loved them to include a Dominaria card in here as just like as a spoiler. I think that would have been really cool. Just to have it there with the symbol watermarked, and nothing too crazy, or maybe even put a rare or something in there, and just that would be just like a really interesting way to introduce people to a card. And nice, Richard and Port. Would have loved to see that in foil. But like even cards like Port and stuff, and we've seen Recruiter come out, and I think they have targeted a lot of cards in these sets that allow people very much to get back in the game. I was super surprised. I would have bet all the money I had in the world on this, that I really thought the Bloodbraid Elf would have been in this set. I just felt like when they unbanned Jason and BBE, I just thought like that made sense that they were both definitely coming out, because that was a way to then get another Simeon, nice, copies of that card. So I did find that interesting that there was actually no Bloodbraid. It kind of like made sense, unbanned those two cards, and I don't think that decision was just like on a whim from Wizards, so I think they probably would have had time to put it in the set, but I don't know, maybe that people like, maybe that's too much like lack of confidence, or like it's like too spooky for them because like, oh, they'll just ban cards and because they're getting printed in the next set kind of thing. I don't know, people have some crazy conspiracy theories out there. The Corsair there, and our foil is a Plummet, and like Plummet, for example, like that's a card that's been like printed a million times over, but you need cards like that in a limited set, like in a set that you're going to play limited with, and you just, I don't know, like people that just want foil everything kind of thing, like these sets are great for them because you get a guaranteed foil in every set, and sometimes you get a really awesome one, but sometimes you just get a lot of staples that help those people out that are trying to complete some collections. So, I am a big fan. We've got the Izzet and the Seer. Okay. We've had some like interesting foils. I don't think we've had like anything super amazing, so far, but that's okay. Like, I think like what's the best foil I think I've pulled? I pulled foil Lily when we did Masters. Can we flip it? So that was pretty solid. But like the foil is just like a nice little like bonus at the back. Disenchant, we've got a Lull, Zombify, come on, our last pack. Gives something good. Boris Charms, like all relevant cards. Living Wish, okay. And, oh, nice, Cascade Blast in foil. And the Kobold behind it as well, the Kobold token. That's very, very cool. So that's the box, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And Just kind of flip through the rares super quickly. But after this, we will be jumping. I'll splice it, hopefully very seamlessly, into the video with the drawing of the Channel Fireball golden ticket. Got that Thalia in there. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing a box of 25 being open. Let me know, did you pull anything amazing yourself out of this? As always, thank you so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy this video. Comment below, let me know how you're enjoying 25. Let's jump in to Gleam and see who won our amazing competition. Okay, competition time. Channel Fireball once again, probably not the last time, but a huge thank you to Channel Fireball. This has been such a cool thing to run on my channel. 206 entries, that is absolutely amazing. One prize, GP anywhere. As we zoom in to build anticipation, there is only one prize left. You are correct, Gleam, and that one prize, courtesy of Channel 5. Oh, there's another draw. Whoops. Good thing I didn't build it up. That one prize is going to Shane Garvey from Melbourne, Australia. Shane, there is a limited event in Melbourne, or you can go anywhere else in the world. Thank you to the amazing human beings at Channel Fireball. Thank you so much for watching this video. Great work, Shane. Congratulations. Thanks again, anyone else who jumped into it, subscribe to the channel. Really has just been an incredible ride. Can't wait to see as many of you as I can at the GP here in Sydney. My name is Coops. This is the whole box and dice. Peace.